Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the version 3 APOC Shadow has been out for a while now, but I haven't uploaded anything for it, and that's for a pretty simple reason in that I just have not been able to max star it yet because of the first half, where first of all, I don't have the Herter or Rapper who are basically made for this. I tried Bootle, but none of his E0S0 teams without Fugue or Linksha were able to cut it for me. The Akron wasn't able to cut it for me. And I don't know why I call it the Akron, it's just Akron. The Herter has given me a bit of brain rot. And then Jingliu was quite useless for me, mostly because none of these blessings really helped me whatsoever, other than this one for Bootle. But then, like I said, this E0S0, most free-to-play team didn't cut it, so that wasn't able to help me. So instead, what we're cooking up for today is we're going to be trying out version 1 DPS, namely Imbibitor, Lunae, Dunhung, as well as Blade, on the second half to see how well they can keep up. Now, the core of the supports is the same for both. We're going to be using Sunday and Robin, because I don't have a Sparkle, and then I think Sunday might honestly be even better for Sparkle, even when the entire team is E0S0, and I remember all the units are E0S0, and then we'll be topping it off with Aventurine, and then later on we're going to be swapping that out for a Blade and a Luocha. So yeah, and then the main key here is that we are picking this buff, because both of these guys do a lot of basic and ultimate damage. Now, Blade also uses a follow-up attack, but much of his damage will also be coming from basics and ultimate, so this is helpful for them both, and this is what will really help them push through the damage we need for the second half. With that being said, let's just hop right into it. Alright, and here we are in the first half with our Dill team. Now, I know what some people are saying, you know, Sparkle is better here, Dill without Sparkle isn't the best, which, I mean, I would have agreed with prior to Sunday's release, but I actually feel like Sunday's a pretty damn good unit for Dill. What we're going to be using in the way we're going to be playing this team is Dill is 1 speed faster than Sunday. I believe Dill's on 138 and Sunday is on 137. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to basic on our Dunhung, skill him, and then ult him as well, so that we get our ult on Dunhung here. And this is one of the reasons why Sunday is so good, because he gives Dunhung a lot more ults, and the fact that he also does one basic also gives him more energy for more ults once again. So here we go, we hit an ult for about 80k, which, you know, we're not Robin buffed yet, so that will go up. 150k there on the skill, or rather the enhanced basic, and now we can Robin ult ourselves. And now let's see how much damage we're doing to the boss without the weakness being broken. First of all, we are going to use Aventurine's ult here so that he can also go as the crit damage increase. We should be basically at 100% crit rate, I believe, because my Dill is normally at around 81. So there we go, we do basic here. Now technically I could have actually used an enhanced basic there, like 1 times, to deal a little bit extra damage, but I'm not too bothered about that right now. We just kind of want to break the weakness bar a bit more and have some skill points spare just in case we need a shield on Aventurine. So yeah, obviously we will be doing more damage once her weakness is broken. The main focus here is doing as much toughness bar damage as we can. And now we do go into an ult once again, and we hit for 139k, which, you know, big damage to the feathers. I think I'm just gonna basic this one. It obviously does extra damage thanks to Robin's ultimates, you know, thingy. We're not gonna ult on Sunday yet because we are gonna wait for his turn so that we have better uptime on it, which also means we have to use less skill points, aka our skill point generation is slightly better. And now Phantylia's thingy is unlocked once again. However, I am gonna try to just conserve a couple of skill points here. And okay, cool. We are going to be able to take out her weakness now here pretty easily. Just going to ult on Aventurine for a little bit extra weakness to this. And now I think I'm gonna... I mean, we're going to get a skill point back anyway when we weakness break her. So I feel like there's no harm here in using a 1x enhanced basic. And then ulting Dunhung, so he will get his ultimate back, so we get his stacks. And like I said, we do go back to 5 skill points, so the fact that we had to use one there on Sunday is no issue whatsoever. Oh wait, oh never mind, I forgot to ult first. Okay, now we ult and then we go into an enhanced basic attack, 54k there, and now we just go full enhanced basic attack on to Phantylia herself, and 329k there. Obviously this is subject to a lot of buffs, so, you know, this, I wouldn't call this exactly the final damage right now. Okay, we go for Aventurine ult again. Now the thing is, I'm not 100% sure when I want to use my Robin ult, if I'm being entirely honest. I could use it right now. Yeah, I think I'm going to use it right now so that our AV doesn't take down over the next turn, and we should still have some remaining left over, so we can go before Phantylia gets her weakness bar back up. Okay, so here we deal 315k there on the ult. Very nice. I'm going to go for a 1x enhanced basic, which deals 222k. Once again, not using Sunday's ultimate. And 555k there on the fully enhanced basic. Very nice. Yeah, this Dunhung is doing a lot of damage right now. Okay, we basic once again, and we get to use our fully enhanced one more time, and this should also give us our ultimate back as well. Yeah, Phantylia has 9% left over. We go for a big ultimate right here. Okay, 1%, that's fine. Aventurine should be able to... No way, no way, she lives on 1%. Are you kidding me? 1%? That's so annoying. Oh, okay, she goes down to an Aventurine follow-up attack. Okay, we take those absolutely. In the final phase now, and the good thing is we get to break a few more flowers, which means more buffs for us. Once again, we just go for a basic there. And yeah, you guys see how this team works. It's actually doing pretty damn well skill point wise. Now, obviously, this is a full 5-star team, and Dunhung is actually the only version 1 unit here. But to be fair, he's doing better than a lot of other version 1 DPS. I mean, Jingyuan obviously got a massive recent buff, but I mean, Jingliu's been kind of in the mud recently, I'm not gonna lie. Who else? I mean, I don't want to talk about Blade right now. I've tried using him in MOC, and you're gonna see his performance in the APOC Shadow. He's definitely fallen off since, you know, I was still able to make him work back in 2.5, I want to say, 2.5/2.6. But ever since 2.7, when stuff started going really insane, you know, we had a couple million banana boss in APOC Shadow. Ever since then, it's been getting a bit rough for my E0S0 Blade and his team. So, yeah, slightly unlucky there. But, you know, we are doing decent progress on our Dunhung here. And I'm actually really happy because Dunhung was the DPS I got to really start to carry my account. Like, when he came out, he was absolutely broken. And I was able to, this was before MOC 12, I was able to clear MOC 10 full stars thanks to Dunhung absolutely carrying me. So it's basically thanks to him that I was able to start making content on endgame mods. And I will forever be grateful to him for that. But unfortunately, he's really not been holding his own for a long time. I'd say, honestly, even since version 1.6, he's kind of dropped off a bit. And especially since version 2. Like, after Akron released, I never used Dunhung for a clear ever again, other than to test him out for a video to see how well he's doing in the current day. So I'm actually very happy that they gave a pretty nice buff in this APOC Shadow stage for Dunhung, and obviously Dill can take advantage of it as well, which we will be checking out later. Anyway, unfortunately, our Sunday's rotation there went a bit modded. You know, we would normally have 1 extra skill point here, which now we don't, which doesn't let us shield on Aventurine in this turn, unfortunately, but it shouldn't be the end of the world either way. This should be able to take out this flower, so Phantylia's weakness bar will open up once again. And we could technically alter... Yeah, I'm going to do it before Robin's ultimate goes away. And hopefully this will break the second flower as well. Yes, it does. Okay, and she is very close to being weakness broken. Like I said, no skill point issues on this team. Sunday Dunhung is doing quite damn well right now. And yeah, like I said, I'm just very happy that I get to use Dunhung for once. Because like ever since... Actually, no, I'd say... No, okay, I take back what I said about Dunhung falling off earlier. He got Sparkle, which was very good for him. But for anyone who didn't have Sparkle, Dill was almost unplayable. Especially when bosses start getting harder. But now he is pretty damn good. Okay, now I don't know if I can do this full 60% if I Robin ult straight away. We're looking at about a 1300 clear here. I just don't want to mess it up. You know what? I think I'm just going to go all in on the Robin ult. We go in for a Dill ult now. And let's see how much percent left. Okay, that did 11%. We still have 48 left. Gonna go for a 1x enhanced basic attack there. We actually could have gone for a 2x there. And okay, 19% left over. Okay, one more time. I think we'll go for a 1x enhanced. And I could technically go for a 2. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a 2 time. Oh, if I went for a 3... No, if I went for a 3 times enhanced, we would have got a 1300 clear. No! Oh, 1%. That's twice we've been left on 1%. If we weren't left on 1% twice in this run, we would have easily gotten a 1300 run. This should be 1300. Which, you know what? 1300 for a version 1 DPS, entire team E0S0. You know, Robin isn't the best E0S0 if you're not playing her in the follow-up team. Neither is Sunday sometimes, but in this team, it actually felt really good to play, and it did pretty damn good. Like I said, it should have been 1300, but with that being said, let's move on to trying out Blade now. Alright, and here we are now in the second half with our good old Blade team. Now, obviously, I could have played Lunae instead of Robin here. Her buffs are probably slightly more useful, but I do like the action advance, especially in APOC Shadow, just because it can be quite helpful to advance yourself before a boss before they do something silly, which is why we have gone for Robin. Now, one thing I will preface is, honestly, normally a crit blade is better than a super rake blade, especially in Pure Fiction, normally in Memory of Chaos 2, but in APOC Shadow, sometimes a super rake blade tends to be better, and dare I say, in fact, sometimes most of the time, especially if you have Fugue and Luocha and Luocha. If you have all of those characters, super rake blade here will go crazy. I did try a run with my Gallagher, Luocha, and Harmony MC, which is basically the cheapest super rake team you can go for nowadays. So that's basically if you didn't pull for Luocha or Fugue, and it cleared in about 1,000. So although it's not ideal, if you have a strong second half, it is good enough. But yeah, it is definitely possible to be better than a crit blade, especially if you have Fugue and even more, or Fugue or Luocha, and even more if you have the both of them. If you have the both of them, I definitely would actually recommend going crit blade here. It should be pretty damn nuts. Now, obviously we're not doing that here though. We are playing a crit blade because, you know, this feels a bit more like true blade, and if I'm talking about Blade's power level, I'd rather talk about him in a premium team. And all I can say is, although Sunday is very nice for him, we need a support which actually buffs his damage way more than Robin does, because Robin's buff is mostly there just for the action advance. I mean, she also gives you like a nice crit damage buff, but other than that, she doesn't really do much for you, because although Blade has some HP scaling, it really isn't much. Now, the one good thing about this team is that since it's so SP friendly, you can just spam a skill on Robin so that she gets her ult up more frequently, which, you know, is quite convenient. Anyway, he's doing pretty good work with these flowers right now, and we do go again here and break the second flower. So Phantylia is actually very close to getting weakness broken in this situation. And oops, she actually flicks Robin there. You know what, I am going to use our Robin ultimate here, I think. This should be an optimal time to ult on our Robin. And oh, that's so annoying. Why did you have to go for Blade? Oh, that's actually so annoying. That's reduced our weakness bar by a little bit right there, unfortunately. Maybe if Luocha gets to go again, does he break here? The answer is no. Okay. You know what? One thing I'm realizing now is that Luocha would also help us break the weakness bar quicker. So I actually think in APOC Shadow, Luocha might be the play here, not Robin. If you're struggling to clear with Robin, you can try out a Luocha. Also, if you don't have a Robin, you can use a Luocha as well. Luocha is very good for Blade. More of her buffs apply. The only problem is, obviously, you know, Robin's action advance is hard to look past. Although I'm not gonna lie, I actually do prefer the Luocha variant personally. I kind of prefer Luocha to Robin, I'm not gonna lie, even though I do think Robin is nowadays possibly the slightly better unit. When they stop adding in so many attack scalers, I do think that Luocha will come back out on top again. Anyway, obviously we do see that Phantylia is now broken, and because Robin's ultimate doesn't help us with our damage here, we are literally just gonna sit on her ultimate until the final cycle so that we can get a whole extra turn action in. Now, the one good thing about us not breaking Phantylia there is that we actually are able to kill more flowers, which gives us more of a damage boost, which can actually be seen as an argument for Robin over Ruanmei. I don't know why this section is tying into Robin versus Ruanmei. They're both good, just use whichever. You can experiment a bit if you didn't get the clear you wanted originally. Anyway, our Blade is doing some decent damage here. It's nowhere near as much as the Dill variant, which is why I actually think if you have a Dunhung, I would use him over Blade in this APOC Shadow, like I said, unless you have a break team. But you know, if you just want to play Blade and you have a very strong first half, then I would definitely recommend it. You know, when I was struggling to clear the second half in this APOC Shadow is really easy. I mean, Firefly can clear it, Blade can clear it, Dunhung can clear it, Fei Xiao can clear it, Acheron can clear it, Dot can clear it. There's a lot which can clear it. The problem in this APOC Shadow is the first half. The first half is so stupid. Like I said, it's literally the entire reason why I haven't been able to clear an endgame mode for the first time since March or April of last year. Basically, since Acheron's release, I've been able to max star every single endgame mode, you know, every single Purification, every single Memory of Chaos, other than this current APOC Shadow, because I don't have a Fugue, so my Bootle isn't the best against the boss. Also, the crowd control is annoying, so, you know, I don't have Link Shot, I don't have Fugue, I don't have a Firefly, which some people are using, which you can use to brute force. An E0S0 Acheron doesn't do enough damage, thanks to them having some lightning resistance, because they're not weak to lightning. So they have, I think it's 40, it might be 20%, but I'm pretty sure in APOC Shadow it's 40% resistance if they don't have the thingy. So yeah, 40% lightning resistance does mess with us quite a fair bit. And also, I have, yeah, like I said, I tried Bootle, I tried Acheron, I tried Jingliu because there's ice weakness, but there's no big buff for Jingliu, which is actually really annoying. Like, instead of the erudition buff, they could have just been like, oh, ice units deal 50% extra damage. But no, instead they just went for a super erudition focused strat, because obviously the Hertha and Rapper are the two latest DPS. Oh, I also don't have Rapper, so that doesn't help either. So yeah, the first off is literally just unclearable because of the units I have on my account and the fact that I only pull E0S0. Both just because that's how I've always pulled in this game, and second of all also because that's, you know, what content's based around, so that's relatable for the most amount of people. Do let me know how this current APOC Shadow is going for you guys, because I can tell you I have hated it. It's made me be, I've been very mad. I did consider making a video talking about how this is a problem for free-to-plays, but honestly, what I didn't want to happen is I didn't want people to think I'm just complaining because I can't clear it, so I wanted to give it a bit more time and see if maybe I could come up with a clear. But I tried looking up, for example, E0S0 Bootle clears, and I couldn't find any for this APOC Shadow, and there might have been one with Fugue and Linkshot, but I don't have those, and that's a, you know, pretty nutty to ask for. So yeah, and then I think other ones I've seen without Fugue were like with Eidolons or with Signature Lycons, and even the E0S0 Bootle showcases that I did see had premium stuff on their supports, so like whether it be Eidolons or Lycons on their supports. So yeah, I have not been able to find any clears that I could have pulled off on my account, because I either don't have the units or I don't have the investment. So yeah, this APOC Shadow has been impossible for me, other than the second half, which has actually been really easy, because yeah, I've done multiple clears with it with multiple different units. It's just the first half which is very restrictive. Anyway, I'm just realizing now that I never showed off the stats for either my Blade or my Dunhung. So yeah, that's how my Dunhung's looking right now. That's how my Blade's looking right now. 90 crit rate to 320 crit damage. I actually probably could have put a bit more crit rate on him. I probably could have hit 100, 300 for a bit more consistency, but I mean, we'll be hitting most our crits anyway. And then Dunhung, I know he was on 100 crit rate. He was probably on about 200 crit damage as well. I'll show you guys the base stats. That's what matters more. Anyway, we are Robin ulting here so that we can take out these flowers before Phantylia goes. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I did kind of lose the plot. I just started going off like on my frustrations on this current APOC Shadow, but you can't blame me because it's been, quite frankly, a bit BS on how much they're targeting the newest units rather than accommodating for all the ones like they did before. But yeah, okay, we have made some very good progress here. So I can cut my complaining. Now we're not gonna get a 1300 clear. I don't think we're even gonna get a 1200 clear. We're aiming for around 1100. Since we did break 8 flowers, I'm hoping that's a possibility, although I'm not entirely certain. Anyway, we do get the weakness break here. Maybe it would have been better if I weakness broke with Luocha's, with Blade's basic attack. Oh, actually no, because this gives us more turns on Blade. Okay, never mind. I think we did the right call there. Ult for 326k, basic for 218k, follow-up for 364k, and now we boost ourselves up with our Sunday again, and we hit for another 225k. So yeah, that is a pretty successful rotation if you ask me. Now, could I technically Robin ult here? Yes, but like I said, since the ult doesn't give us that much, I am just gonna save it for the time being. Okay, we go again with our rotation. 188k there. I mean, the one thing Robin's ultimate would do here is give us the little extra damage that she does on top, which would be more useful than the attack buff that she does give us. Although I don't think it should change that much, if I'm being entirely honest. 13%. Oh, actually, maybe we should have Robin ulted. Oh, we would have 1%. If we'd have Robin ulted, I think we would have gotten an 1100 clear. Oh my god, this keeps happening to me. I don't know how 3 times on Phantylia we've hit 1% across 2 halves. 3 times we'd have to run 1%. But yeah, that's basically a 3300 done hung run, and then basically a 3100 blade run if I didn't mess up there right at the end. So yeah, you know, is it top of the meta? No, but is it viable? Yeah, I'd say so. So, you know, if you really want to try and make them work, then you can, even at E0S0, but you know, if you have even any level of investment, then it would probably be a huge help. But with that being said, let's move on to the character builds and the outro. Well then, as you can see, both were able to do an okay job. I mean, Dan Heng actually did really quite well there to hit basically 3300. Now, when it comes to the blade attempt, you know, 3100 isn't exactly what you want. You are aiming for a minimum of 3300, but if you score like 3500 on your first half because like you have an, I don't know, an insane wrapper or an insane version of Herta's 5-star, then, you know, you'll be able to get away with it. But, you know, I mean, both are somewhat viable. In this APOC Shadow, Dan Heng more so than a Blade. But if, like I said, maybe a premium Super Rake Blade would do a better job. But yeah, I've spoken enough about their teams. I've spoken enough about my frustrations on not being able to clear without a premium team on the first half. Let's just go on to the character build so that we can end this. First of all, when it comes to our Blade, 138 speed, 50% crit. Obviously, this will go up to about 90%. 151 crit damage as well. He is on the event icon, so he will get an extra phase 6 from this. You know, he just has a lot of crit buffs on him in this team, and then this is how the relics are looking. The plain enrollments are honestly quite horrible, but it is what it is. Can't really help that out right there. And then he is also E0. And then I am just going to go to our Dan Heng straight away. Also 138 speed so that he does go before our Sunday. You could go for a hyperspeed Sunday and slow Dan Heng, but I just chose to go for this because this is the build I have right now. 81 crit rate, which will go up to just over 100, 134 crit damage, although he does give himself a nice crit damage buff with one of his traces. There we go, 24% crit damage from this trace, and then obviously Sunday will also be buffing his crit damage by quite a lot, so we do basically hit a 100-200 ratio. And then he is also E0, and then finally, if we move on to our supports now, our Sunday, first of all, is 137 speed, so he goes just after these guys, 223 crit damage, so he gives them quite a lot, 134, he is on the battle isn't over yet. Traces, mostly max, they are fully maxed out other than his basic. He is on the Sakado set to give us a little bit extra crit damage, and then he is actually on Pentacon, which does actually help out Dan Heng a fair bit. You know, I just have him on Pentacon because I don't have a good build for Luocha, so that's why he is on Pentacon, and actually that works quite well for our Dan Heng, like I said. And then he is also E0. Robin, 122 speed, other stats don't really matter all that much. Oh, right, 3,850 attack, that's another stat which matters. Will be 4k, but I don't have amazing substats. And then this is how her traces are looking. She could be bulkier. You know what? Let's just do this for the sake of it. There we go. 6% extra max HP. Wow, amazing. 2-piece attack, 2-piece speed, because if I have it this way, it will allow me to run attack boots. And then she is also on the Von Max set. Not the greatest pieces, but you know what? They get the job done. And then she is also E0. Then for our sustainers, 135 on Aventurine, 4.1k defense. You know, Lycon, they have day 1 of my new life, full defense on the knight set for the tankiest shields possible. Broken keel gives us a little bit extra crit damage, E0 as well, and then finally our Luocha is on 162 speed, perfect timing, you know, nice little boost there, level 10 on the talent, level 9 on the skill, and then rest doesn't really matter as much, and then 2p speed, 2p incoming healing bonus. And yeah, that's it for our Luocha. Very nice for our skill points on the second half then again, but it doesn't use very many skill points, so not that needed. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you have any recommendations what I could do on the first half, I would, you know, much appreciated. I wish I could use Dun Hung there, but the blessing which is on the second half doesn't apply to the first half. There, the other ones are physical, which is for anyone who has Argenti, and then double erudition, which, you know, we are not playing. So yeah, unfortunate for me that I've not been able to clear this APOC Shadow, but like I said, luckily, at least I can clear the second half easily, so I could bring at least some content to you guys, which hopefully you guys have enjoyed, found helpful, and if you did, be sure to like and sub. And with that being said, see you guys next time.